What's up, everyone? It's Willette with Urbex and Coasters, and I'm going to be making another video about the Six Flags America situation because, you know, I feel like I have something to add to this conversation that is not really being talked about. So, obviously, with the value of the land and the fact that we are talking about these Cedar unfair execs or these Fair Cedars demolition execs, whatever the hell you want to call them. But anyway, Cedar Fair has always been the villain, and this merger with their execs in charge, that has never been more clear. But also something that their executives did with Geauga Lake was they said that, hey, we're going to zone the property so that someone like an Ed Hart can't buy it. So I do want to say I know this is incredibly unlikely, but it is a proposal that I want to go through. Hershey's Adventure World. Why does this idea make sense? So Hershey Park might be its own park, and as a result, not many enthusiasts think about Hershey as a potential for buying another park, especially since they've had sister parks in the past, like Lake Compounce and Dutch Wonderland were once sister parks of Hershey Park, and then they got sold off many years apart. But anyway, so why does the park currently known as Six Flags America make sense, though, as a sister park to Hershey Park? So first off, you're talking a market that is less than 3 hours away from Hershey Park, which would be the flagship park of their chain. So you're talking about a park that would definitely be doable as a combo ticket between Six Flags America and the park currently known as Six Flags America that would become Hershey's Adventure World and Hershey Park. So Hershey's Adventure World and Hershey Park would be doable within the same vacation. But that's not why I'm getting at this, because obviously Dutch Wonderland was also that, and I mean, it's obvious what they did there. The reason that I'm bringing up this, though, is because Washington, D.C. is a totally different tourism market than Hershey, and Lancaster and Hershey are not different tourism markets, so Dutch Wonderland might have been competing with Hershey Park some. On the note of them being different tourism markets, you've got families that do trips to Washington, D.C. in the name of, hey, we want to do a trip to study a bunch of the stuff that's there to show our kids a bunch of the stuff that's there, which, like, I mean, I have qualms about the ethicalness of some of the people that those monuments are for, but, like, I mean, that's not what we're here to talk about. So a family that's doing a Washington, D.C. vacation that has an open day where they're looking for something to do, where they don't have going to the National Mall or the Smithsonian or anything like that planned, they might see Hershey's Adventure World and go, oh, and then see that they can get a combo ticket with Hershey Park. And get this, if they see that combo ticket, they make the decision to have some of their vacation in Hershey. And for Hershey Estates, you know what that means? That means that not only are they going to Hershey Park, spending money at Hershey Park, they're also going to Hershey Gardens. They're also going to stuff like the Hershey Story Museum. They're also potentially going to a Bears game if the Bears are in season. They're potentially doing a lot more stuff like that. So it works as a way to promote the town of Hershey to people who are not vacationing to Hershey, and Hershey Estates owns a lot of stuff in Hershey. So that is definitely something that Hershey should be thinking about. Something else that roller coaster enthusiasts won't necessarily be thinking about that would make this make sense from a business perspective. So Hershey Estates owns the Hershey Bears, right? So the Hershey Bears, they are a hockey team, and their affiliate is the Washington Capitals. So this would make it so that they had a park in both cities. This would allow the Capitals to promote the Bears, so allow them to promote their up-and-coming players more effectively by having assets in both cities. And also it would allow the Capitals to promote themselves in Hershey. So, maybe having some investment from the Capitals, because having those sports investments can make sense, can make something like this make a lot more sense financially, to be like, hey, we're going to have it be the Capitals being part of the community and making it so that people can have an amusement park. We're going to have it be a Hershey theme park that can work as a way to promote Hershey Park. The more I think about this, no matter how much the land costs up front, in the long term, I do not see how this idea isn't going to be profitable and isn't going to be getting more people going to Hershey Park, for one thing, and exploring the town of Hershey, which includes stuff like Hershey Gardens, which is also owned by Hershey Estates. And, it's like, and also the reputation that Six Flags America has, the reputation that Hershey Park has is a whole lot better. So if people are associating it with Hershey Park, they might think differently about, hey, this reputation that this place has. They're not even thinking about that when they see Hershey's Adventure World. And in case you're wondering where I pulled Adventure World from, that's what the park was called before it was a Six Flags park. So yeah, this is just my video about why I think Hershey's Adventure World actually would make a ton of sense from a business perspective. And this is my plea to Hershey Estates / Hershey Entertainment executives to look at making an offer on purchasing Six Flags America and having Hershey's Adventure World be there.